Hello, welcome to Gun Shop. We have here today a selection of 5 of my favourite sporting shotguns, and so this video is the top 5 sporting shotguns. So, starting with this. No top 5 sporting shotguns would be complete without a Beretta Silver Pigeon. Yes, they are essentially one of the more boring guns about, but you will not buy a more bomb-proof, shootable gun for the money. That's guaranteed, in some regard, not sure by who. The reason they're great: reliability, simplicity, that's it. You know, they're not the most shootable gun in the world, there's nothing particularly exotic about them, but you can buy one and go and shoot sporting, and shoot very, very well. In fact, there's a lot of people who just shoot standard Silver Pigeons who will outshoot a lot of people with much, much more expensive guns. They work, they're simple, and that is why they are certainly in my top 5. There you go. Next on the list, also a Beretta, and this is in no particular order, I'd like to add. The 692 Black, I think one of the finest guns on the market for shooting sporting clays. The combination of that carbon rib over the slightly lightweight barrels anyway makes for a very rapid response with a very, oh, it's all just lovely. It's very pointable, very fast, but very smooth in the way, every way it does everything. So you can shoot it in a variety of ways, and that has got to count for something, right? That's got to count for something. Also, I think it looks gorgeous. And looks with a sporting gun don't matter so much, but it does look lovely. I mean, a sporting gun's got very clean. And the fact that it's, you know, got that lovely carbon fibre rib, it's sort of one of a kind in that regard, in the way they attach that rib. The balancing system and a few other bits that I said I wouldn't touch the balancing system, they come so perfect. Anyway, I just like it. I think it's a good looking gun, and they do back that up by shooting absolutely amazing. Next on the list, this is a Renata Gamba, but is here really to represent any Perazzi based gun. I'm an absolute fanboy of them. They are so simple, they work, and yes, they kind of the polar opposite of a Silver Pigeon in that they aren't hard as nails, but that softness translates into the way they shoot. They are a piece of art. They really are a work of art. You know, you can pick up a nice Perazzi, a nice-ish Perazzi that's probably had a bit of wear and tear for about £3.5 grand, a nice MX8, and I think that is a very, very good investment. However, be prepared to have your heart broken when it breaks, needs rejointing, and the repair costs are high. But, by God, the shootability factor is amazing. And the fact that, but be aware that every Perazzi or Perazzi-based gun is very, very personal. Different barrel weights, different barrel lengths. They're such a customizable option that you'll essentially be buying someone else's customization unless you buy something off the shelf. Well, then what's the point in that if you're buying new? So try a few, don't buy the first one you like, don't compare one to another. They're all so individual that that's what makes them great. I've shot some that are absolute dogs and I've shot some that are absolute beauties. That's why they're in there. That customization, that uniqueness that comes with a Perazzi action gun is lovely. Moving on. This, the Guerini Summit Ascent, period, the best value gun on the market for the things you get, I believe. The step-up rib, the immense amount of chokes, the Monte Carlo with the adjustable comb makes for an amazingly shootable gun. An amazingly shootable gun. That's it. I mean, yes, it's not going to be quite as nice as, let's say, the Invictus Ascent, which would probably be the more intelligent option, but it's £1,000 cheaper. And trying to find a gun with a step up and a Monte Carlo and an adjustable comb for that money, it's just a bit different. Everyone can pick one of these up and shoot like a pro, and that's kind of nice. It's such a simple thing to shoot, and that's why they're in the top 5. Last but definitely not least is this. Yes, it is a trap gun, but then so's this, I suppose. So is the Summit. This is a Miroku Mark 38 trap fixed choke. Ugly as sin, but by God, they shoot so well. Out the box balancing for the money, you cannot compare it to anything else. You cannot compare it to anything else. The way they shoot and the way they handle for the price is just amazing. And, well, I'm a fanboy, I've got one. I think until you're paying twice the price, 3 times the price, 4 times the price. Realistically, up until those sort of things, you can't get anything for the money that compares in handling at all. Yes, you know, you don't have that ease of shooting that you do with the Beretta in that sort of versatility. The multi-choke, the steel proofing, all the bits you can add, the ease of change of parts. But that sort of all gets thrown out the window when you consider that for just over $1,000, if you find one that's had a bit of use, just under $1,000, you can go and own a gun that shoots like $5,000 a gun. And that's why it's in my top 5. I'd love to hear your suggestions of what should be in here. I missed a lot out, I'm sure, that I probably would have put in if I had a top 50, but I'd like to think there's a general smattering there of things that I actually genuinely think are worthwhile owning for sporting. The Silver Pigeon, the 692 Black, the Summit Ascent by Guerini, the Miroku Gamba, or generic Perazzi as it stands for, and the fixed choke trap Mark 38. You know, there is negative sides to these. This is a bit bulky, and you'll find the Monte Carlo can be a little bit difficult for your driven stuff occasionally, just for the way it pushes your head back a bit too much. The 692 is sodding expensive when you compare it to the 692 Silver. The Black Action is another £800. It's worth every penny, but you know, you'll find a lot of people will choose to stick with the Silver over and above it, and that's the downside with it. Is although it's worth every penny of that £800, it's kind of hard to justify because the 692 Silver is still a nice gun. The carbon fibre rib, they've not been around long. They're a bit of an untested quantity, but I don't know, is that a downside? I can't really think of any downsides to this. I really am a fan. The Silver Pigeon, everybody's got one. That's not really a downside, but you know, it is if you want something a bit unique. And it's not a pretty looking gun. It's not an ugly looking gun, but it's not unique or special looking. And that's the downside to the fact that it is one of the most reliable, awesome guns in the world. The Perazzi, you wear the barrels out, you wear the action out. It will wear out and it will break. That's a downside. But you know, if you can afford £5,000 on a gun, you can afford a couple £100 a year to keep it up and together. And this, it's got fixed full and 3/4 chokes. Is that a downside? I don't think so. I'd call that a positive. A few of you wouldn't though. If you train with full choke and you ever get it opened up, Jesus, you'll find yourself feeling like George Dick Reed. There's a downside to the fact that, you know, you have to shoot skeet with it, you're at a disadvantage, and that will leave you mildly disadvantaged. But when you hit stuff and smoke it and everyone goes, Jesus, you're Muller in that, you can go, yes I did. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions about any of these guns, please let me know. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Take care, we'll see you soon.